Are you ready for the Kevin McGonigal experience? Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the BergerTime Show. I'm your host, Luke Weinberger. Today we've got a lot going on. USA versus Venezuela tonight. A little bit of a Tigers update. Kevin McGonigal is phenomenal. We've got a little March Madness and a fun little surprise I have for the channel with that. We're going to have a little talk about LTU baseball. I know my buddy Ty Shornack, who is one of the middle infielders for the team, talked to me about that. He was like, hey, got to shout out the LTU baseball team. We were on spring break. Talked a little bit about that in the last video, so I will have an update about that. And then we're going to talk about John Kurzawa, another guy on my team, his Red Wings. So might give him a little bit of crap. Might talk about it. I know that Justin Falk trade happened while I was in Florida. So, hey, let's start off with Venezuela versus the United States. Pitching, prediction, and my top player for the game. So, Venezuela is on the mound. They are starting Eduardo Rodriguez, who did play for the Tigers previously. Not too impressed with that. Now, Nolan McLean is also going for the United States, which he was not impressive in his game against Italy, I believe. I believe he pitched against Italy. So, I think it's gonna all be about the bats. Who can get into the other team's bullpen quicker? Acuna, Garcia, Arias, Suarez, Torres, Tovar, Abreu, Perez, and Churio. For Venezuela, Witt, Harper, Judge, Schwarber, Bregman, Anthony, Smith, Turang, and Buxton is what the U.S. counters with. So my prediction, I think it's going to be a close game early. I think the United States is going to pull ahead. I feel like Harper's really going to turn on and Schwarber's really going to turn on in this game. Not saying that those are my top players to look for in the game. I just feel like both those guys are going to have a good game. Bobby Witt Jr. is phenomenal on defense. He's also been very good with the bat as well. I think it's going to be a 7-3, 7-4 game in favor of the United States. My player of the game, looking at these numbers, I'm going to have to go with Alex Bregman. I think Alex Bregman's going to have a big game, especially against the lefty Rodriguez early. And I'm going to pick one for Venezuela. If Venezuela is going to win this game, I think it's either going to be Gleyber Torres or Acuna that are going to carry this team. And I think I'm going to have to go with Acuna. Ronald Acuna is one of the best baseball players out there for this, especially for this team, Venezuela team. He's the leadoff hitter. He is what goes through. He's going to be getting first pitch of the game. And he actually put out the first AB. I think he hit a home run against Japan. So I think it's going to be a 7-3, 7-4 win for the United States. And I have Acuna and Bregman as the top players for that. And let's move on to the Tigers. And boy, the Tigers have been much better over the last couple of weeks. Blue Jays, Yankees, Phillies, they actually scored 7 runs in that first inning against the Phillies. And I'll talk a little bit about that in the LTU because we did something very similar to one of the top teams in our conference. But that 7-run first inning was capped off by a Kevin McGonigal 3-run home run. Now we'll get back to Kevin McGonigal in a minute, but they also tied the Orioles 1-1. Tigers have really picked it up. I think Scooble's coming back. I think the Tigers are going to be very good this year. I think will have no issues winning the Central. I think they're going to be a 90 to 100 win team. I think they still need one bat. I think they need a right-handed bat, and I'm not sure what's going to happen with that going into playoffs, going into the trade deadline. But I feel like now is the year. They got Framer Valdez. They have Tarek Skubal. I think they're just going to roll with those two for the rest of the year. I don't see anything crazy happening. I think that was a 3-year deal for Framer Valdez, so they have him locked up. And I think they're just going to roll with Tarek Skubal for the rest of the year. Yeah, I mean, Tigers back-to-back years they've lost in the ALDS. They're still a step away. I think a big right-handed bat, I think that's really going to do it for them. Kevin McGonigal. 1 for 3, a 3-run home run, 4 RBIs, and 2 walks versus that Phillies team. Are you ready for the Kevin McGonigal experience? The Tigers would have to be utterly insane not to start Kevin McGonigal. If he's not on the opening day roster starting at shortstop, I think something is wrong with the entire staff in Detroit. Front office, pitching, coaching, everything. I think, now obviously there would be some things going into that if Kevin McGonigal is not the day one starter. I think he's proven he's ready. I think he's proven he should be your everyday shortstop. And the only reason that would change is if you're trying to keep him under team control, which is it's a very possible thing. It's very plausible for them to be like, okay, hey, let's wait a little bit. Let's send him down to AAA. Let him get his legs. So it's not all at the start of the season. But hey, Kevin McGonigal, 33 ABs, 8 runs, 8 hits, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, 2 stolen bases. He is 242 average, a 432 OBP. And his OPS is a 977. So, hey, those are very good numbers, especially for a young hitter. 242. I feel like he's probably either going to hit that, maybe get up to 270 throughout the year. But for a rookie, I think that's going to be very good. Okay, March Madness. Now, for those of you who do know me, and I know many of you who watch the show do know me personally, whether you're on my baseball team, friends, family, whatever, you guys know I'm not a big basketball guy. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about the March Madness basketball tournament. I know guys like Braden Best on my baseball team, he's going to get all upset about it because basketball is all he talks about, all he loves. He loves basketball. So sorry, Braden, but we are not going to be talking about basketball. Instead, on my Instagram page, BergerTime on Instagram, BergerTime Show, we are going to be doing this March Madness fitness bracket. So I was at the YMCA getting my lift in this morning, and I saw this. And yes, they have a lot of good exercises and stuff like that. I hate the order. So I'm going to reformat this. And on the Instagram, we are going to go through each quadrant, the 4 quadrants: legs, abs, cardio, chest, triceps, back, and buys. We're going to go through each quadrant on my Instagram. And I'm going to do a March Madness fitness bracket because I thought that would be interesting. I saw that walking out of the gym. I was like, hey, that would be a fun thing. So that's what we're going to do on the Instagram. So that was the little surprise that I mentioned earlier. So we're going to do that fitness bracket on Instagram. So make sure you're following the Instagram, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. Turn on notifications for here. Subscribe if you can, if you want to. Really appreciate it. Really helps the channel. But I think that's going to be really fun. I'm going to reorder them 1 through 16. We're going to go right through them, the 4 quadrants, and I'll probably post 4 videos relatively soon, one for each of the first 64 games or matchups, whatever you want to call it, and that's what we'll do. But let's take a second and let's get into that baseball talk. Ty Shornack was really getting on me about it. The team, we didn't do too bad in Florida. I think we went 4-6. A couple games, just one game under 500 if we flip one of those losses into a win. But I was pleasantly surprised. I was pleasantly pleased. We are a very young team, a lot going on, and we were figuring it out. Hey, we had a couple really good games and we had a couple poor games. You know, it happens. We're a young team. We're going to figure it out. We came back. I think we were 7-9 after Florida, and we are now 8-10. We split with Uno. We lost 1-0 to Uno in Game 1. That was last Saturday. I believe that was the 14th. And Game 2, Tigers scored 7 runs in it. 7 runs in the bottom of the first inning. We did it too. So we scored 7 unanswered in the first inning against Uno. Ended up mercing them 11-1. Phenomenal win. Guys played great. Exactly what we want to do. Offense needs to keep rolling like that into every game. And we did that to a very good team. It was a good pitcher. He pitches for Uno all the time. Now, velocity might not have been there, but we were doing a great job getting on base, moving guys over, capitalizing. 11-1 final. Shout out Ethan Hockendoner and Kenya Wright. 2 fabulous pitching performances from those 2. Great job. So we have Saturday, I believe we have Aquinas at the UW-M. So I'm calling that the UW. I know my baseball team's going to get mad at me about it. I said it the other day. They were like, blah, 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 whatever. So I like calling it the Dub. It's not the John anymore to me, so we're playing at the Dub. And then we have an away game at Toco Sports, which is 15 minutes away. We usually practice there, so that's going to be an interesting place for a game. But you know what? We got Dearborn on Sunday with that. So a little bit of talk. John Chizawa, we're going to talk about the Red Wings a little bit. So actually, the Red Wings aren't doing too bad. They are still tied for third. They've played 68 games. Final stretch coming through. I feel like they have about a month left, maybe a little bit less than a month, I think. But they've got some big games coming up. So currently, the Red Wings have 4 to 6 huge games. So they got the Canadiens, who they're tied with. They play on Thursday. Boston, who is a game behind them, they play again. They play later this week. They've got the Senators, which are right behind Boston, 77 points. So Senators are going to be a solid team. They're still trying to get in there. The Sabres, who are in first place in the Atlantic Division, they came out of nowhere. They're playing really good. We've got Philadelphia, the the Flyers, and then the Penguins. Those are two good teams from the Metropolitan Division. And so it's really coming down to it. 37-23-8. The Red Wings currently are. They've got games against the Canadiens on Thursday, March 19th, and then Saturday, March 21st. They will play Boston. So it's really coming down to it. They need to make the playoffs. I mean, they made that big Justin Falk trade. Now, I know that was a good trade on paper. I think Justin Falk is a good veteran presence, a good playoff guy to be on the team for the Red Wings. They gave up, I believe, a couple picks and a player. I know it was a first-round pick and a third-round pick from San Jose. I believe that was what the trade was. But Justin Falk, I haven't looked into his stats at all. I know he scored a goal in either his first or second game with the Red Wings. But hey, if the Red Wings can put it together, they should be able to at least win a series. I think hopefully not first-round exits. Hopefully they can win a series. But it's going to be tough. The Atlantic Division is absolutely stacked. The Metropolitan is not bad at all. But that's going to do it for this Burger Time episode. I appreciate you tuning in. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Make sure you head over to the Instagram page. We will talk and do the March Fitness Madness. I think that would be an interesting thing, something most people don't do, and I'm a big gym guy. So, hey, I think that's going to be fun. But thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.